What is going on, guys, and welcome to the review for the 4th of July edition of SmackDown Live, Independence Day edition of SmackDown. We're also going to quickly be going through Raw, talking about what happened there. Now, I was very, very busy yesterday, hence why there was no review. Didn't get to watch Raw until very, very late, and at that point it was just too late, and I kind of watched it in 2 chunks as well, because I cocked up in the middle of it. Anyway, long story, no point in sharing that with you, because it's kind of irrelevant. Why is the microphone like that? Give me a second so I can just move all this so you guys can hear me properly. You should be able to hear me a little bit better now. So yeah, that's what happened yesterday. But on to today. Well, not quite yet. Let's go through Raw. Of course, I'll have a Great Balls of Fire preview. I've got a cold, so if you can hear that, I do apologise. But yeah, Enzo Amore kicking off the show with a fantastic promo. If this guy doesn't win the feud, which I don't think he does, he has to become some sort of manager. He came across fantastically in this promo. It came across as not just... It didn't just make me want to see this feud. You know, it wasn't just engaging, but it was also damn believable. And I just loved everything about it. I thought it was fantastic. And I thought this was the first time, really, that I looked at Enzo Amore and thought, you do belong in that ring. You really do have that charisma, and can make a crowd chant your name, cheer your name, etc. Now, as I say, he'll lose this feud, but what he does after, I think, has only been benefited by this promo. It's very, very good. We then got Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. Bayley and Sasha winning, although Bayley, from what I can remember, wasn't there. She kind of got sent back, beat up to the point where she had to then go back to backstage, which means Sasha Banks won against Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss, which I find stupid, but there you go. Still looking forward to Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. We then got what did we get next? Oh shit, I've lost my fucking notes. Oh no. Well, we kind of got the Brock Lesnar thing, but then we didn't get that bit. Should we just talk about... I mean, the Cruiserweight thing I didn't watch. I didn't watch either of the segments. If I'm being honest with you, I don't watch the Cruiserweights, as you guys know. I watch them on pay-per-view, but that's about it. We'll do the Lesnar whole thing. There was a Lesnar Joe video package, which was fantastic. WWE always creates fantastic video packages, and you know, with a story like this and with 2 superstars like this, it could be the worst. I could have created the video package and it would have got you hyped. It's that damn good, the story. But the video package was just fantastic as always, and that's one thing WWE is always very, very good at and consistent at, is producing fantastic video packages. And the Samoa Joe Lesnar kind of, I don't know what we'd call it, face off, or I don't really know what we'd call it. Basically, they were having, I mean, it looked like it was going to be kind of interview, but then they kind of went back and forth in different rooms. And it was very, very good. Joe got in. Joe got him some great lines. Lesnar just kind of laughed at him, called him a coward. Joe said, "You know what? I'm going to come find you." He found Lesnar, but the security kept them apart. It is what we want to see. A Great Balls of Fire is them two going at it in the ring. It's going to be a great match. Cannot wait. But what a fantastic couple of segments this was. And if you weren't pumped for this match, you damn well should be now. And if you're not, then why the hell are you a wrestling fan? We then got the Miz TV with... Oh, shit, I honestly can't remember what happened, if I'm being totally honest. Let me think. Yeah, Miz spoke about last week's segment, which was a disaster. Well, it wasn't. I don't think it was as bad as some others think. I mean, a lot of people shouting it. Don't get me wrong, it was shit, but I mean, yeah, no, it was dreadful, wasn't it? But I mean, Miz just about kept it from being a disaster. That's how I'd kind of say. But it was shit. Let's be honest. They didn't actually, funnily enough, reference the end spot, which I hadn't even noticed actually at all. But there you go. Moving on. So yeah, then Ambrose came out and I don't know what he said. I can't honestly remember. They went kind of back and forth. Heath Slater and Bryan came out. Heath said, "You know, I deserve a shot at you, Miz, because I actually pinned you last week." Angle said that Miz would basically be facing Heath Slater tonight, and if he won, would then go on to face Ambrose at Great Balls of Fire. And Miz did win in the match against Heath Slater, which was an okay match. Nice to see Slater get an opportunity. And now Miz moves on to Dean Ambrose. This Sunday, the Miztourage attacking Dean Ambrose. What was it? No, they didn't attack. There was just kind of all shit at the fan, didn't it? I can't honestly remember. Fuck me. I've just completely lost the plot. Was it this one where there was like the ending was just fucking all over the place? No, I don't think it was actually. I think that was later on. Fuck, I can't honestly remember. This is a disaster. What a disastrous review. No, it wasn't this one. It was later on. Anyway, the Miztourage. I like the Miztourage. I think they're going places. Heath Slater lost, but there you go. What this means for them, Heath Slater and Rhino, who knows? But what we do know is that Ambrose and Miz will face each other at Great Bars of Fire, which I just love saying. The Shattered Truth then came up next. Goldust cut a nice little promo, and bang, from behind, R-Truth attacked Goldust and got a little bit of retribution for the attacks that Goldust has done last week. Not too much to say, but these two will face each other on Sunday, probably on the pre-show. Then got Seth frickin' Rollins versus Kurt frickin' Hawkins. Rollins won very quickly, I think. Pretty much straight away. Then he spoke a little bit about Bray Wyatt, and that was that. I mean, I can't wait for Wyatt to face Seth Rollins, but the feud's been really, really shit at the moment. Although I'm just looking forward to the match. Neville versus Mustafa Ali didn't watch. Bray Wyatt was in the desert. Don't know why, but it was slightly interesting, I suppose. Wyatt just needs a little bit of a change of character. When and where and what, I don't really know. I haven't really got many solutions. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the preview for Great Balls of Fire. Finn Balor then faces Cesaro in not the main event. And it was a very, very good match. The ending I really enjoyed. Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Sheamus, everyone was getting involved. It was a live snatch. It was a disaster outside the ring. But yeah, very good match. Could have been a lot better. But at the end of the day, it was still a very good match. And the ending was very, very frantic and exciting. And at Great Balls of Fire, we get a 30-minute Iron Man tag match, which will be interesting to see more on that on the preview. Then the best segment of the night, in my opinion, bar the whole Brock and Joe thing, was Strowman versus Apollo Crews. Basically, Strowman said, look, I want competition. And Titus O'Neil basically somehow convinced Apollo Crews to come out and fight Braun Strowman. It was a bad idea. Apollo Crews put up a decent fight, but a decent fight against Strowman isn't a particularly good fight. Strowman destroyed him. I mean, the best spot of this match, when Strowman just actually kicked Apollo Crews in the middle of Crews doing a moonsault, was one of the best spots we have seen. And if you haven't seen it, look at Braun Strowman's Twitter. And the match then ended, and he kind of fucked up. He fucked up Crews, and he fucked up O'Neil. It was fantastic to watch. And then basically he went to the ambulance, put Crews in the ambulance, knocked on the door, it didn't move. Knocked on the door again, it didn't move. I'm thinking, shit, Reigns is in the thing. Yes, Reigns is in the thing. Bang. These two attacking each other. Looks like it might be Strowman who's going to get the upper advantage. Well, I can't speak properly. Heading into Great Balls of Fire. But no, Roman Reigns with a spear off the ramp and through a couple of tables. That's one less spot to use on Sunday, but a great way to end Monday Night Raw and to, get us all excited and pumped for their ambulance match at Great Balls of Fire. So we've got an Iron Man match, tag match, and an ambulance match, as well as Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe. It's going to be a great pay-per-view, and I can't wait to see it. So that is my very, very quick Raw kind of recap stroke review. Apologies if I kind of said stuff in the wrong order, forgot anything. If my notes were wrong, they were freaking wrong. On to SmackDown, which I think was a fantastic show, and it started off with John Cena coming back from the dead, cutting his very, very sort of John Cena, United States of America, July 4th promo. It was alright, it's a John Cena promo, they're always decent. And he's always good at that sort of thing. He's a true patriot. Don't mind people being patriots. patriots and loving their country. Cena's one of those, and he cut a great promo. But he also kind of mentioned the fact that, he's not a part-timer, he's not a full-timer, he's an all-timer, and he's going to be on both shows. And he did mention that he's winding down his career in WWE. Other things to note. One thing I noticed was that when he said Roman Reigns, he paused. The crowd went nuts. Cena Reigns is going to happen, and it will probably happen within the next year, in my opinion. And it's one I can't wait for. Out comes Rusev. I honestly had forgotten where he'd gone. I forgot that he existed, and then I was like, oh shit, yeah, Rusev existed. This was last week. But I love Rusev. I just find him so funny. I think his promos are great. I know some people probably say they're really shit, but I find them really funny because they're quite bad, but they're funny because they're quite bad. But I enjoyed it nonetheless. Rusev Cena, we've seen it before, but it's okay. Flag on a flag match thing is great. Yeah, can't wait. This was decent for July the 4th. Obviously, these sort of feuds, if you're American, you're really going to be a hell of a lot more invested than if you're a non-American. But at the same time, I can get invested. Cena's back. We've got to, enjoy Cena while it lasts, because it doesn't look like it'll be lasting for too much longer. One of the greatest of all time. And if I'm honest, when I first was a fan of WWE, he was my hero. And I still don't mind Cena now. After going through absolutely despite, I went from loving him to hating him to back to really kind of loving and respecting the guy. Rusev will no doubt lose his first pay-per-view match. That's the only annoying thing. But then where he goes from there, we'll have to wait and see. Cena, Rusev will be a good match. The flag match probably will hold it back. We'll have to wait and see. Decent way to start the show on the 4th of July. Backstage was Styles and Chad Gable. Daniel Bryan was saying, look, I'm sick and tired of Kevin Owens giving me friggin' calls. But he does make a point. You both have been beaten by Kevin Owens. So do you deserve to be in the Battle Royal in the main event for a shot at Kevin Owens' championship? Bryan said, well, I think I see Kevin Owens' points, but at the same time, I kind of want to see you in the match. So what I'm going to do, Chad Gable, Styles, you two, go in the ring, fight it out. Winner is in the Battle Royal. That match, great match. Really enjoyed it. If it's on pay-per-view and they're allowed to go a little bit longer, and they just give it all they've frigging got, then it would be probably a match of the year type caliber match. It was very good nonetheless, but it wasn't that level. And I don't know what I'm watching SmackDown on at the moment. I think it's USA Network. I'm sure the USA Network now, during matches, has during commercials, when there's a match going on, has the match in the corner, because that's what I was seeing, and it meant I could see a little bit more of this. And obviously, if you didn't get to see that, again, the match won't be as good as perhaps if you would have done, if you see what I'm saying. But AJ Styles getting a ring, a sign of respect by him at the end, sort of the shaking hands, a kind of nod from to Chad Gable at the end of the match. Apologies, I'm a little bit ill at the moment, so I'm a bit all over the place. But no, I think Chad Gable's always going to be a fantastic singles competitor. And when he does break from Jason Jordan, both of them have a real future, and it looks like Chad Gable is proving his worth, now against people like AJ Styles, and that is never a bad thing. He's not in the Battle Royal later on in the night, but he did get a good spot and a match against AJ Styles. AJ Styles couldn't easily beat him, but beat him in the end. Good match, very much enjoyed, and a fresh sort of matchup, which is never a bad thing. We then saw Carmella coming out, talking about her winning the Money in the Bank for the second time, and yeah, she was pretty juvenile. I don't know what the word is, juvenile. I don't know. And she was happy. James was happy. Lovely. Out comes Naomi, maybe foreshadowing the fact that Carmella and Naomi might have a feud, especially if Carmella cashes in that Money in the Bank briefcase. And then Naomi said some shit. I honestly can't remember what she said. And then she basically said, well, I've got somebody else that really wants to see you too. And that's Daniel Bryan. Out comes Daniel Bryan. Yes. The crowd went. Sorry if I sound disinterested. I'm just very ill. And then, long story cut short, Bryan basically suspended James Ellsworth. Hallelujah, wish he'd have fired him. And fined him $10,000. So, bye-bye James Ellsworth, at least for 30 days. What is I nearly called Camilla. What is Carmella going to do without her bitch, James Ellsworth? We will have to wait and see. Finally, though, we don't have to see that chinless cock on the telly anymore. At least for 30 days. We then saw Naomi face Lana. Apparently there was some controversy last week. Can't say I've really noticed, but there you go. Basically, I don't think Lana's both her shoulders were on the mat. So a rematch within about 2 seconds. Naomi had beaten Lana, and that was the third time Lana has lost to Naomi. We haven't really got to see much of Lana as of yet. And yeah, don't really get the point of this other than basically just, I suppose the story is Lana's underprepared, she's not ready yet, blah, 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 blah. Tamina's going to swoop in and be a manager and probably sort of build her up before one of them turns on each other. That's usually what happens in WWE, so that's what I'm going for. But it's an interesting pair. I'll have to wait to see where it goes. Now, for me, one of the best segments of the night, although some of it I was like, and others I was like, yeah, this is cool. The New Day and the Usos in their rap battle. I honestly went into this segment thinking, oh god, this is going to be terrible. Rapper, I mean, I call him Wale. I know that's not his name. I'm not really into the whole hip hop scene, but he is pretty decent rapper. If you ask me, but I mean, you see, he's world renowned. I did recognise his name, so that's always positive. We then got the rap battle. The big things really to mention are probably the fact that, well, I mean, for me, the best one was, I mean, to be honest with you, the first sort of round was pretty poo-poo. New Day's kind of was a little bit rubbish. And then it kind of got hit up a level when the Usos hit with the line of the year, which was the rated R line, to the Xavier Woods. That was great. You know, basically, I can't honestly remember what he said. Something to do with, basically, referencing the whole rated R thing, the whole video that Xavier Woods was involved in only a few months ago. Can't believe they're actually allowed to say that on television, but it was great. If you haven't seen the video, you don't know what I'm talking about. Where have you been living? I still think the videos are on Pornhub. I'm sure they were definitely there when it broke. That is for sure. But yeah, that was funny. That was hilarious, and it was confirming what we already knew, that it was Xavier Woods in the video. I mean, it's fucking obvious, but still some were going, no, it's not him. It definitely was him. Now, that was a great line. I mean, as soon as they hit that line, I was like, there is nothing the New Day could say to win this rap battle. And, I mean, they said some great things. I mean, they did say about Jimmy was nothing before his wife was put him on Total Divas. That was a great line. And the bit about Roman Reigns and Jimmy and Jay basically being Roman's bitch. That was another great line. In my opinion, the Usos won it. Enjoyed the segment. We'll probably go watch again. These two face each other at Battleground in a tag match. But I thought the Usos, by far, were 10 times better than the New Day. And that rated R line was, I mean, Edge would be proud of it. Absolutely fantastic. We then got Randy Orton beating the shit out of Aiden English after Aiden English beat the shit out of him, really. Aiden English was singing. You all know how much I love that. And then, bang! With the microphone when Randy Orton came out, you know, blah, 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 blah. Aiden English attacks him. During the commercial break, this match starts. We come back. Orton goes ballistic, basically. Turns the tables, not literally, but kind of literally. Beats the shit out of Aiden English. Gets disqualified. You know, it shows, you know, this side of this unhinged side that we always know Randy Orton's had. And then out comes Jinder Mahal. He really fucking irritates me. Everything about him. He starts talking. I just don't like the gimmick. I really don't like the gimmick. And I don't like the fact that, you know, we've got to try and pretend he's Indian when I fucking know he's Canadian. It kind of defeats the fucking object. He just pisses me off. But anyway, there you go. I mean, I don't dislike Jinder Mahal, the guy. The guy is actually, you know, the actual Jinder Mahal person I find quite funny. The interviews I've actually seen of him outside kayfabe, I think he's quite a funny guy. But the Jinder Mahal character, I can't fucking stand it. But there you go. I just think he just chats bullshit. But I suppose it's the idea of a heel, and it pisses me off. But he pisses me off to the point where I'm like, this is just fucking shit that he's the champion. Anyway. I mean, Orton then was like, no, just shut the fuck up, Mahal. You are not speaking Indian in America. This is America. God damn it. That's not exactly what he said, but I mean, in a roundabout way, that's what he said. And oh dear, I don't know why I'd find himself funny. I really have got a bad cold. I feel like I'm going to die anyway. Basically, then Orton called him a jackass. Cut a very, very brief but decent promo. Decent segment, and I'm kind of looking forward to the Punjabi Prison match, namely because I haven't really ever seen a Punjabi Prison match. Although looking at some of the reviews of the last couple of Punjabi Prison matches, well, the only Punjabi Prison matches, we haven't exactly had a good one as of yet. We then got the Battle Royal to determine the number one contender for the US title. Surprise, surprise! Much like... No, I'm not going to say that. That's a little bit edgy. Yeah, I mean, basic friggin', Styles won this match, was always going to happen. Other things to note, Mojo Rawley got Ryder out the thing. I always knew it was going to be Rawley that turned on Ryder. Be interested to see where that goes. Don't like Rawley. He got booed by the crowd. That didn't go down well with the crowd. That'll be decent to see where that goes. Won't mind like a mini feud between those. That will probably be a little bit decent. Other things to note. Backstage, Breezango were fucking hilarious with Ty Dillinger. I know a lot of people don't like it. They're kind of split, but I think they're really over with the crowd, and I find them really quite funny. Although I understand a lot of people don't. Zayn and Styles were the last two. That's sort of paramount to how good Zayn is on SmackDown, how he already feels like a bigger thing than what he did on Raw. He didn't win, obviously. What that means to Zayn probably means he's going to be facing the love people backstage. But that was really SmackDown, a very decent episode, July the 4th edition of SmackDown Live. I certainly enjoyed it, and yeah, I would say overall SmackDown was a better show than I would say SmackDown was a better show, and yeah, I mean the last 2 years we've had 4th of July episodes of a WWE show. Last year it was Raw. This year it's SmackDown. Next year, if we all get to that long, if we haven't been sort of blown up by North Korea or something, then let's have a quick look on my little calendar. Will it be a Raw thing? I don't think it will. I think it'll be a Wednesday. It is a Wednesday. Well, I suppose it will be Wednesday night NXT 4th of July special, so expect... Yeah, I mean, I don't know. NXT changes so much. I haven't watched NXT in a long time. Anyway, that's it for today's episode. I enjoyed it. Please like. Sorry, it was a pretty shit review, but I'll be back with hopefully when I'm feeling a little bit better voice-wise for a great Bars of Fire review, a preview even, ready for the show and predictions, and then a review after. I will most probably watch the pay-per-view live. Didn't watch the last pay-per-view live, but I'm going to watch this one live because it's Brock Lesnar versus Samoa friggin' Joe, the Beast, versus the Monster. It's going to be good. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.